Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Four Sides of the Ring. It's Justin and Casey here to talk about Smackdown.
Yes.
Smackdown's in London. Was in London this week. As I believe Raw is going to be on London on Monday.
So.
They're still there.
I don't know. I can't keep track of where they're at.
But they started the night with Cody came out first, right?
Wow.
Wow, that went out my brain
and you're
fast.
supposed to be a Cody guy. What the hell? Yes, Cody came out.
Man,
apparently spent about 10 minutes letting people cheer, ooh and ah him.
Yeah, he didn't really
get into the John Cena matchup before Randy came out to talk to him.
Yeah, because all he was really doing once he started talking is all, well, what'd you like to talk about? And there wasn't much going on before Randy came out.
Which Randy went and issued a challenge, more or less.
Yeah, more or less. He's
saying John's coming after 17, I'm coming after 15.
You know.
And then, of course, Drew's got to stick his head into it, too.
That's the nature of the title, you know. Guys are coming for it. And, but Randy did say, you know, he's not going to
kick him in the balls.
Kick him in the balls for it. He'll issue the challenge, but
he'll look him in his eyes and tell him, I want that.
I want the title, you know. He did have a lot of praise for Cody, too. You know, he said a lot of good things about Cody.
Yeah.
Giving a good spin on
lifelong friends.
Cody's departure from WWE.
Well, if you've noticed as of late, there are several people who are having that type of success departing and going their own route. Matt Cardona is one of them.
Yeah, Matt's out there right
He's
now.
killing it out there in the independent circle. Making sure he, you know, as far as I know, he's still not signed any one thing. He can go wherever he wants, do what he wants. And
he's still independent.
It's still up in the air, too, on whether he wants to even come back. I know Chelsea wants him to come back. But even then, she's always said it's up to him.
Yeah. But, you know.
So there's definitely a success there. But I think Cody was one of the first to really...
Cody had
who didn't have a real name. Let's face that one. Because you had Hulk Hogan, you had Sting, you had all these guys go their own routes after their main shows, you know. And they were fine. Well, but they were known names.
Yeah, well, Cody
wasn't very known
as
big as he is now when he left. I mean, he was known as Dusty Rhodes' kid. He was known as Stardust, which to him wasn't a very good reputation either, even though he loves to insult people with it.
Well, use it. He had to go through it.
Yeah, but he's the one who actually turned around and built his name to where, well, let's face it, WWE went and begged him to come back. Vince McMahon himself.
So Randy praised that sort of deal, and then, yeah, like you were saying, Drew came out.
Butting his nose in business that is not his business just because he's butthurt.
I'm tired of I don't know about everyone else, but I'm tired of the butthurt Drew McIntyre. Like, I get that he's had a run of shitty things, and he probably deserves a championship shot.
That's not even that. He keeps putting himself in those shitty things.
He does. It's his own fault. But
it's like, dude, you cashed in, or you won the WrestleMania. You were successfully the champ. And as many people have said, all you had to do was jump over the barricade, leave with your goddamn wife, and be happy. But no. You had to egg on CM Punk, and what did it get you? It got Damian Priest cashing in on your ass and winning and leaving that champion. Which was better anyway.
Oh my goodness. I just think the whiny bitch stick is a touch on the old side now.
It's going to keep getting old because he ain't going to stop because, let's face it, with what happens later on in the show, he's going to bitch and complain that happened to him and want Damian Priest's blood. And yeah. Idiot. I did hear, though, I mean, not to jump ahead, but I heard it was real glass. It got in his eyes.
I know he posted about it. He said it was real. So, I mean, we'll see if he's something. Hopefully nothing too bad happened.
No.
That'd be... Because no one wishes that sort of thing.
No, and usually they use that safe glass. And so it almost makes... I think he was bleeding in the end, too, on that.
It's just...
And obviously, it's like, with Drew, let's face it, there's no hatred. Drew's a great talent, and right now it's a character.
Yeah,
he's playing his character, he's acting, and so there's no hate to it. It's just more or less we're sitting here saying his character needs to be developed in a different way now. It's time to start steering him away from the whiny crybaby and give us the Scottish warrior back.
Yeah, like a good warrior or something would be
but
fine. But it is what it is.
Well, let's face it, too. It didn't end well with him in the ring with Randy or Cody either. I didn't see this part because I can't find the ending to it. But I heard, didn't Randy try and RKO him?
Yeah, he tried. Drew caught him and pushed him, but they got him enough to get him out of the ring, which is fine. Then after that, we
Good
had
Lord. What? No, I'm gonna make a comment right here because they state here we need to start bullying WWE into showing, starting shows with matches instead of promos. What good does that do? Because look at AEW and their so-called show. They're 90% matches and they fucking suck.
What is it?
I'm not even being light on that. And it's nothing against the talent that is in that on that show, AEW. There are plenty of people I do watch from AEW that I do have massive respect for. But, I mean, God, we've talked about this 1,000 times. Every match ending with blood. Do we really need that much blood? And then you're not telling a story with just doing matches. Yeah. The whole point of promos is telling a story. Yeah. And it's like, it's not entertaining if there's no story. Look at the fact that that's what AEW does. They just lead with their matches. Well, okay, great. So we're having a championship, back and forth for a belt that ends in a week and immediately have another one start the next 5 seconds after winning.
Well, plus, you're tuning in for the story. You want to get into the story.
Exactly.
Immediately. It's like with John Cena the last couple weeks on Raw. We want to see John Cena and what he's going to say. We don't want to wait for the end of the show. We want to get into it.
Yeah, we want to see what the development's happening.
Push pause, I guess, for a minute. All right, let's move on to the match. First match of the night. Which was Pretty Deadly and the Street Profits. Oh, it was a tag title match, too.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. And this is actually a really good fight. I've been saying this. I keep saying this every time Pretty Deadly comes out and fights.
Right.
But it keeps ringing true that they turned up the aggression on the way they fight in these recent weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun to watch. And as far as I do believe, as far as the tag teams go, that the Street Profits probably are the best tag team. You know, those two are really good. But I think at this point, Pretty Deadly are a close second. The way they've been fighting recently.
Yeah, there's not much to compare them to. All the other ones are either starting to dwindle out or...
Like the rest of them have just kind of fallen off a little bit.
They just don't care to really step up.
And Pretty Deadly has really stepped up. And these guys, you know, there's kind of a shorter match. Not terribly long one. But they got in some good moves along the way. Everybody did. And it just, you know, ended up with I don't know their move, what their move's called, but
Says it right there. Ford and Dawkins hit a doomsday blockbuster to get the win and retain their titles.
So they got their move, got the pin, retained the titles in a really good match. Like that was a real fun one to watch, honestly. And maybe we'll get to see more of this come WrestleMania time. Maybe not. Who knows?
I think they're about done calling out matches for WrestleMania.
So we'll see. We'll see. All right, moving on to, let's see, we didn't have any promos yet, right?
Not that I see.
Well, not the next ones yet, right? Okay, so we had
tag team matchup.
Next tag team matchup, which was
Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
And then Alba Fire and Piper Niven, or the Secret Hervis.
Which at this point, too, this is the first time in months that Caden and Katana have been back in the ring on TV.
I think they said their last TV appearance was an NXT appearance, too. But they came...
I think Katana got hurt or something.
But this came up because of Selena Vega and the noise that's been going on with her and Chelsea and whatnot.
Right.
And then so, you know, it all boiled up to...
Which, speaking of Chelsea, have we heard the new challenge she's issued for WrestleMania for Nikki Bella?
Oh, I think I might have.
Hair versus hair match at WrestleMania. She has challenged her hair against Nikki Bella's hair. Loser buzzes it off. There is, from what I understand, no response.
No response yet.
We do know Nikki will be there, though. She has been added to the wrestling con that is for the autographs and such. So, which is funny because it's like, you know, talking about WrestleMania and all those fan stuff like that, that would just be real cool to go to, and just how pricey they are. I just actually watched Eric Bischoff and his side of what he thinks about the ticket prices and all that. And the guy he shows with, you know, I can never remember his name. He's telling them, you know, they can do meet and greets for a certain amount of money, you know, and have a beer with so-and-so for $8,000, stuff like that. Eric probably had the best comeback to this of all time, because he goes, do you think they're overpricing? Do you think they're overcharging? Do you think, you know, they're pushing the envelope now? And he goes, you know when they'll know, or you know how you know if they're pushing the envelope or they're overpricing? And he goes, what? They're not selling anymore. He goes, right now they're selling out. Like, they're selling out shows. They're selling out meet and greets. They're selling out Comic-Cons or whatever you want to call them. He goes, it stops when they, you know, when they're not selling them anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's probably like the perfect way to say that. Yeah, do I agree that the prices are way too high? Hell yeah. But are they worth it? I'm pretty sure if you drop 15 grand to be on the front row of WrestleMania, yeah, it's worth the experience.
Well, that's the way it goes. I mean, sucks when you're poor, but
Yeah.
if you have the money.
All right, come on, guys. Start helping me with the podcast. Let's get us into the millions venture so we can start going to these shows.
Yeah.
I'll go to all of them. I'll film myself there, too.
Anyway, this match, I mean, it is what it is. What it is.
It was a filler
It was a
match,
filler
let's
match.
face it. But, I mean, it did end with...
Had a couple solid moments.
It did end
nothing
with
much.
the Hearst. Well, didn't Chelsea actually interfere in the match? Making it to where they won.
I don't know if
Or was that after?
I don't know if she interfered,
I can't remember.
but the Secret Hervis got the win, and yeah, definitely after the match.
Oh, they attacked.
They attacked, and then
Vega came out.
Vega had to come out, but Vega again got attacked too, and it was all.
Well, see, that's a good point. They state here it would have made more sense for Vega to accompany the girls out to the ring for their match.
Actually,
That would actually have been a very good point.
but it is what it is. What it is.
It wasn't to be a
nothing too
crazy spectacle of a match. It was meant to fill a spot, carry on the Zelina Chelsea story, which it did. And hopefully we get to see a little bit more, because I will state right now, I'm Team Vega all the way. I think she's needed to be in that front seat.
Chelsea.
Yeah. I have nothing wrong with either one of them, but Vega hasn't held a belt since it's been a long time. And I'll tell you right now, she's gone through hell and back with WWE this last year or two, to where she deserves something, and not necessarily against Chelsea.
Well, that's the thing too, though. Chelsea's over. I think she's over 100 days now into her title reign,
And she's still doing phenomenally great telling that belt.
She's carried that belt really well.
She gets it out there too, like not even just for the cameras. She's out there on social media posting it everywhere. She's showing everything, and that's what makes Chelsea great, though. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee Matt's in her ear going, this is what's going to make it to where they keep that title on you, because you're getting it out there and you're showing you're a champ.
So,
and Zelina, she's one hell of a talent. She just needs that opportunity.
She'll get her opportunity. They're obviously building her back up.
They are. They got her out of the LWO, and I think it was to focus more on her rather than a group dynamic.
She's gonna get some chances here. So,
did you see Adam Pearce's little picture post today? And he's a very one of those positive posters, right? He always says love somebody. Well, he's reading a book intently that says how to deal with difficult people.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Yeah. No caption to it either, like nothing. It just says love somebody today.
Love somebody. That's funny.
Anywho,
after the tag team match, we went on to the U.S. title match. LA Knight and Braun Strowman.
and was this the main event?
No, this was not the main event.
Okay. And this was for the title, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was for the title. And well, two wrestlers.
Strowman won by DQ.
Yeah, like there was disqualification. Fatu came out. Jacob, I guess there's more than one Fatu out there. Jacob came out. And, like the match itself was
There's
decent.
not more than one Fatu right now.
Yeah, but they've all got that. Not going by that name. But they are all Fatus.
Solo Sikoa. You've got Roman Reigns. It's like Fatu's the only one carrying the Fatu name right now.
Yeah, he's the only one with the Fatu name.
Which
But he's not the only Fatu, is my point.
I'll tell you right now, if talking about that family name, I watched a little bit of a thing with Zilla, and he's kind of hinting that something great's about to happen. And it almost makes me wonder if they're about to bring Zilla into WWE.
Well, we'll probably see. If he's coming, it'll probably be after WrestleMania because we got some new stuff to build up towards SummerSlam.
Well, he'll definitely add to the
and this
bloodline.
This just changed the course. The U.S. title. The way this ended.
And this just changed the course to a lot of things because even Jacob,
because Jacob's
is going a different route than what Solo is, or Solo wants.
Well, Jacob's out on his own now. He's not following anyone's lead. It's what everyone was saying about him. He's not. You can't control him. You're unleashing a beast and everything, and you're finally seeing that. Solo's finally seeing that. It's where it's at, but that's what he did. He came out and he attacked again. He jumped Strowman, got him up in the corner again, did his hip checks repeatedly. As it goes, because it's, Fatu. Jacob wants the... I don't know why I keep calling him Fatu. Anyway, Jacob wants...
Because that's what everyone's been calling him, Jacob Fatu.
Jacob... but I've not I've not referenced him like that ever.
You got the Anoa family, you got the Fatu, you got
I'm just saying.
And then you got the Tonga.
But that's where it's at right now, And it's gonna insert Jacob into that U.S. title somewhere.
Yeah, which that basically ended that.
Yeah, that ended that. There wasn't a whole lot to that match otherwise. Decent match. It's always fun to see LA Knight and everyone, but
and then
Strowman. But
that leads to a video confirmed that the debut of Rey Fenix for next week's Smackdown. So Penta is about to get his brother.
Penta's about to get his brother. That's gonna be fun. See how they play that because Penta has been getting better build, so that'll be fun. See that. So Michin came out to the ring ready for her fight. Had a scheduled fight with Charlotte Flair on the evening. B-Fab was accompanying Michin. And who comes out and attacks?
Good old Naomi.
Naomi on the attack.
And let's face it, if any of you are questioning this character of Naomi's, y'all can shove it.
Ooh,
This is good.
This is gonna be good. Yeah,
especially her little clip she let out.
I think there was a when Michin and B-Fab were coming out. Who'd they talk to? I think they just talked to Jade, but they were
telling her they got her back.
Yeah, that's what what it was. They were telling her that,
and that's why.
And then Naomi
came out and attacked.
That's why Naomi. So she jumps Michin. She gets B-Fab pretty good, and Jade's got to come out and
try and stop her.
And Jade's gear, everyone was comparing it to Kill Bill. Uma Thurman from Kill Bill. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, she looked good. She looked good Friday night. Like, she came out, and so she stopped that. Naomi took off, and then
Charlotte came out.
Charlotte comes out, and
they had their little stare off for
Jade has
teasing Jade and Charlotte's
had her stare down
match.
And I'm like, ooh, that could be getting good. And Charlotte goes out and has her fight with Michin anyway, even though Michin got a little roughed up. And
obviously Flair wins. Which, let's face it, still no hype on the championship match happening. which obviously is disappointing.
Well, as we know now, this isn't going to be a main event.
Honestly, it makes you wonder if any of them are.
I mean, it's like, oh, well.
Because the reason I read that they selected such main event for the main event was because all the storylines aren't catching up Flair. They're not piquing interest. They're not. Like Jay and Gunther kind of hit a flat line.
I don't know why people don't like that one. I like that one.
It's fine to me, but it's...
I thought Gunther picked that one up a
But
lot.
you also got to think, too, is this is backstage crap, too. Why aren't they being allowed to flare up and create a scene? Why is it such matches are happening? You know,
Yeah.
Don't tell me you can't control the match direction or the storyline direction. That's your fucking job.
Yeah, but this one, though, Charlotte Flair and
It's ridiculous and it's stupid.
that video from last week hurt them bad.
Oh, yeah.
That hurt.
Because she's being a spoiled brat.
And it was,
Didn't I send you that video of Tiffy?
yeah, and then
Telling it like you can't handle the fact, and now Tiffany's sitting there saying, you've got everything to lose. I have nothing
Yeah.
to lose. I lose. I'm just a 25-year-old rook
Yep.
who went to her first WrestleMania and lost. You're the fucking legend who gets
You're the
beat.
legend. And she's the legend that's about to get beat, too.
And I'm sorry, but Charlotte deserves it. I still don't think Charlotte even deserves to be in that fucking ring for that belt. Because I could have sold Nia Jax versus Tiffy for WrestleMania better than Charlotte Flair and Tiffy. There's no story here. There's no backstory of them ever fucking crossing.
Well, that's the thing, too. He's like, sorry, you can keep going.
You're
I
good.
was
You're
trying to
good.
interrupt you.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I'm like,
Keep going.
I know I bring up Liv Morgan's name every week and every chance I get. But if they're really wanting to sell stories,
Oh, Liv could do
why
it
aren't
too.
they selling Liv Morgan?
On Tiffy?
You know?
Or Alexa Bliss on Tiffy.
Right? Yeah, where the hell's Alexa Bliss and all
Right
this?
now, there is so much shit they could have done, but instead you gave it to a spoiled brat. And I'm sorry, I'll credit in what she's done for this company and coming up and how much it's cost her. But more and more I see it, she's just acting like her dad. Mm-hmm. How pissed is Ric Flair right now about John going after his record? He's beyond pissed.
He's beyond pissed.
And he wants to fucking stop it. But
I'm still in on the old man Ric Flair coming out to stop it.
at the same time, it's like, seriously? It's time to let it go. And it's not going to... There's no point to have Charlotte beat it because Charlotte isn't World Heavyweight Champion or WWE Men's Champion. She's a women's champion.
She's the women's champion.
Well, she's not the women's champion.
But I mean,
She's
that's
just in that grade. So Ric Flair doesn't hold
But that's
a
the-
record in the women's
Yeah,
championship.
That's the women's or that's the
I don't even know
women's
who
record.
holds that record on most women's championships.
Well, it's probably Charlotte.
I have no idea.
I don't think anyone's.
But either way, you can't sit there and say she should be the one to break it because she's not in the men's division. Her father was in the men's division. Her father's the one who created the men's record. So what point would it be to have her break a men's record when, well, she's not clearly fighting for the men's title? So she can set the record for the women's, saying, I've been 14, 15, 17-time champion of the women's division. But that ain't going to break her dad's record. I just still don't see a point that she should have even been part of this WrestleMania. She's been out for 2 years. There's no fucking comeback. No part of that story that makes any goddamn sense. Fuck, I could have sold anyone else over Charlotte and Tiffy. Fuck, give me anyone. I would have fucking sold it.
Right.
Especially if they were still in that ring the entire time. You know, like I say, Alexa Bliss could have been sold. Because guess what? Alexa Bliss wasn't out for 2 years. She was out for a minute, but still, it would have made more sense for Alexa Bliss to come back, win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, and fucking go after Tiffy. Fuck, I could have sold Zelina Vega over Charlotte. And that's not being just rude. That's being honest. I literally could have sold anybody else.
All right. Anyway, enough about Charlotte. Let's move on
I'm getting heated.
Let's move on to Naomi's promo. Did we talk about that? We brought it up, but did we talk about it?
No.
She
kind of gave Joker-esque mentality there.
So she had a video promo.
And that really had some psycho tendency.
And it was good.
It was very good. Anyone who wants to fight me about this, I will fucking straight up fight you, because this is the turn that Naomi needs.
This is good.
I'm serious. Anyone wants to question this? Naomi is turning into a character, and it's not even. You don't even want to call it a heel. She's not being a heel. She's being someone who's done being nice, and is actually going to fucking stand up for herself and run over anyone that gets in her way.
Right. So we're gonna get.
It's the same thing. Like it almost seems like the real story this year is babyface and heel are done. They're dying. They're gone. Now it's John Cena's a human being, and he's not a heel. And now it's Naomi's finally standing up for herself rather than letting everyone run her over and be the third wheel. It's like that's almost like the secret storyline right there. Is they're getting rid of heel and babyface. Right. They are creating a whole new genre of characters that make it to where, they're not heels. They're done being fucking bullied into being a character they don't want to be. And look, anyone who wants to fight me, like John Cena's story is perfect right now. I think it's the way it needed to happen. And the fact that he is holding true to not changing who he is or coming out with a different song because, hey, guess what? We didn't deserve it because we're all sitting there going, what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Just like Naomi sitting here going, nobody's going to stand in my way anymore. And if you do, I'm going to run you over. And then she is going into like psycho tendencies of Joker-esque smiles. Oh my God. And this is perfect. Like, this is just
that's good.
Perfect crossroads for her character, which will lead it to going towards Naomi and Bianca.
You mean Jade and Bianca?
I said Naomi. Yeah, I meant Jade. Jade and Bianca, because she's pissed with Bianca for turning her back on her, and she's pissed with the fact that, Jade's coming after her, even though she thinks she did what was right, which is kind of a twist. Kind of a messed up twist.
Ooh, that's going to get messy, and that's going to get fun.
See, and I haven't even heard what Rikishi said about any of this yet. I want to hear his side, because he got pissed that Jade even touched Naomi.
But that was a
oh God,
real good one.
Favorite part of the night right there. That was the best part of the night.
All right, then we had us some Drew McIntyre.
This is the main event, isn't it?
No. Randy Orton.
Oh, fun. No, sorry. I forget Jimmy had a match.
Jimmy and Miz.
Yeah.
Were the last fight of the night.
Right.
I mean, the signing was pretty much the main event.
Yeah.
More than anything. But
we'll get into that in a minute.
We'll get into that in half a second. So this obviously stemmed from the beginning of the night. It turned around into a fight. Drew and Randy. And it's a good fight right there. Ain't gonna be sad about watching those two fight.
I actually watched a video talking about Randy Orton right now. And it was like, tell me 09 Randy Orton wasn't the best heel you ever saw, and it went through all this shit. And I'm like, he took that to a whole nother level of deranged. And that's when he was hearing voices, people. And now what's he saying he's hearing again?
Hearing the voices again.
Oh, I would love to see 09 Randy's face come back out.
Well, we're gonna get deranged. We're gonna get that punt on Kevin Owens. Because that's how.
Oh God, I watched him do it to Vince in that video. That looked rough. Like he straight up kicked him and then kicked him again.
Well, what happened in this fight? You know, they're going along, and Kevin Owens comes out. He distracts Randy Orton, and what happens? He loses the match because he got distracted.
Yep. Which, you know,
that doesn't sit well with Randy Orton.
Kevin's digging a hole.
Kevin
keeps digging. He's digging downward, thinking he'll get out.
He's determined to dig himself out, and he's never going to do it.
I'm sorry, but dude, KO's going to get his fucking head kicked off. Clean off. We're about to see 09 Randy come back.
Well, that's what the voices are telling him right now.
So. And that's going to be a derangement that you're not ready for, KO.
All right, let me see something before. All right, so I guess we went to the next match.
Did this lead to the attack?
I'm trying to think when we see Drew backstage. But it had to have been after The Miz and Jimmy. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about The Miz and Jimmy. This stemmed from The Miz running his mouth backstage. You know, they were backstage and he started running.
Yeah, go with that, Miz, you dumbass.
He was running his mouth about...
No, nothing against Miz. Miz is good.
About Jimmy. Well, yeah, but he runs his mouth.
He runs his mouth.
I love The Miz. The Miz is awesome. He just...
I'll tell you right now.
He runs his mouth.
I'll state this, like, because I have watched, or I have actually, well, yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. I have watched on and off throughout Miz's entire career. Mm-hmm. I saw him in Tough Enough. I saw him come out of Tough Enough. I saw him come into him and just continue. And he has been the heel of all heels. He literally made a career of being the one fucking person you hated see, but loved to see.
But yeah, you always watched him.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he... Oh, God, he almost turned into Chris Jericho perfectly because it was the same way with him. And now Chris Jericho's lost that edge. Like, people just don't fucking care about Jericho at all. I mean, he just got dissed by a fucking child.
That shit was hilarious.
Did you see that kid?
Yeah.
And you see, like, he's like, oh, I'm muscular. And all of a sudden the kid lifts up his fucking shirt and he's all jacked. And you're like, holy shit, dude. Chris Jericho got fucking burned. But Miz made a career out of being him. And it's like, it has paid off. And he's always entertaining to watch. I have loved it. And don't get me wrong, I do wish that they went a little bit longer with The Miz and the Truth and R-Truth. But, you know, and obviously we knew that the ending of this match, we knew it. It was going to be Jimmy.
Yeah, we know.
They're painting the picture for Monday for Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what this was setting up Jimmy for Monday, which is going to be a fun match.
It's curious on what they're doing with Jimmy right now because it almost seems like Jay just got pushed to the back burner and Jimmy's coming out.
They're probably, because it's like you're saying, if that storyline's falling.
I don't know if it's falling.
But they're probably trying to give it a push. You know what I'm saying?
I almost want to say, like I said last week or last show, I think everything Jay is doing is intentional.
Yeah, but
I think he's making Gunther have a big head on him. And I think even now, with him acting the way he is, and that's part of the story flaring up, is now Big Brother is coming to fucking fight in his, you know, against Gunther. And he's going to fucking bring all he's got. And Gunther's going to start focusing on Jimmy more. And Jay's going to lay in the first retaliation he's had. I think Monday we see Jay come out and do something that Gunther's not ready for.
Good. That'd be, now hopefully that, because they, you know, it could be, it's probably something to inject some life into the story.
I'll say this, nothing against Jimmy. I think Jimmy needs a fucking singles push too, but I don't think it needs to be on Raw. I think keeping them kind of separated is the smarter move right now. I think him being on SmackDown and Jay being on Raw is the smarter of the choices right now. because them being on the same show, you keep thinking, oh, they're gonna get
Go
tag
back to
team.
the tag team.
And right now, I want to see them be separated.
Singles. Well, I think we're both squarely on the Jay is going to win at WrestleMania.
I'm still there.
I think we're both on that.
Like I said, I'm 100%. I'm gonna stretch it right now and go. I'm 110% right now that this is all Jay playing mind games with Gunther. And I hope I'm right. I'll be surprised if I'm wrong.
But if he gets that belt, that means he's going to get it for a bit. He's
going to have at least a month,
so
maybe two.
That would give Jimmy plenty of time to go after one of the other titles, because this could be leading up to SummerSlam. We got a lot of stuff to lead up to SummerSlam if they're doing 2 nights of SummerSlam this year.
Oh, God. We've got a lot leading there. And let's face it, the first 2-night event, other than WrestleMania, they've got to draw a story even bigger than WrestleMania's story right now. Because let's face it, WrestleMania, it sells out every year.
Right? It's already going to be...
SummerSlam, so does it. But SummerSlam's never been a 2-day show. It has always been a 5-match show. And now they are stretching it to a 2-day event. Which means it's got to fucking sell up to the mark.
They're going to do it because they've got a lot going on.
I guarantee right now, Triple H has already passed SummerSlam. He's already got the road paved, and he's planning 6 months more. I guarantee he's got the story to SummerSlam paved out, and it's going to happen. Whether we're right or not, that'll be
we'll see.
The up and down here. Let's face it, if Jay loses, I will cry. I will cry. Just like Monday, we're going to see Bianca and them fuck that up, and now it's going to be a triple threat match. I'm surprised with that. You're telling me that triple threat shit doesn't have enough flair or storyline to be a main event?
Okay. So, since you brought it up.
I'm surprised with that.
So, we've got that match going.
It's Rhea. It's Mommy. I'm always going to talk about... You talk about Liv every time. I'm going to talk about Mommy.
I didn't say you couldn't. But I'm bringing up Liv, okay?
Okay.
First and foremost, that match is ending in disqualification.
It's got to.
Liv Morgan.
I think it's going to be Liv and Raquel.
Is inserting herself into that.
I think Liv and Raquel are going to cause it. I think they're going to lead to the fact that Bianca is going to accidentally, almost like they shove Bianca into Io or something like that. And Bianca oopses.
Well, we've seen this from Bianca too. It's like she, you start screwing with Bianca and she doesn't play well. After that, you smack her.
No hate with any of you, by the way. I love all these girls.
You smack her or give her crap or whatever, she's gonna fight you.
Io got in her fucking face. Last round, and was she scream pushing her down? No, you ain't gonna fucking slap me in the face this time, bitch.
So, if Liv Morgan comes out, say she just comes out and starts screwing around with Bianca, distracting Bianca or something.
Like she was with you. Well, look at the fact, too. She's gonna, that's a better case, too, because she did it to Jade, last week? And she pinned Jade, becoming the first woman to ever pin Jade. They never got to pin Jade and Bianca together for those titles. So she's gonna go out there and play more fucking games with Bianca.
This is how Liv inserts herself into this, and this is how we get our fatal 4-way for WrestleMania.
I'm still claiming six way. We're gonna get our fucking ladder match still.
Or we're really making our way.
It'll be the main event of no main events, as in it'll be the mid card match, 6-woman ladder match. Naomi, Jade, Bianca, Io, Rhea, and Liv. You imagine that? And it wouldn't even make the main event. It's the mid card, and it draws the biggest fucking boom.
And that's what we get.
Oh God!
Crap!
Oh God! It could. I'm telling you, we could. God, you still got what? 3 weeks? 3 weeks left, right? Till WrestleMania.
But I'm saying it now,
right?
Yeah, 3 weeks,
3-ish. So you still got plenty of story left to tell before that week of before. Once we're, And I mean, even in that week before, we can still be left on a guessing game of what's going to happen with anything.
So I'll tell you,
Ugh.
that's what I'm calling it for Monday night.
He's calling it Fatal
Livs is coming
4-Way.
out. All right, so now
Adam, I hope that book's helpful. It's gonna get worse, man. Just know I'm here in your corner. You know, I'm emotionally supporting the difficulty.
I wouldn't want to put up with them. Holy crap.
Oh, he's gonna have a heart. He's gonna fucking have a meltdown Monday. Oh my god.
Okay, so at some point, I can't remember exactly when, Drew was talking with.
Oh, is this the first Smackdown we had our new announcer?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I did not catch his name, but
I don't know his name either, but yeah, we've got.
I heard he did
He was really good.
fairly good job.
He's really good.
I wanted to make note of that before I
forgot his name though.
Yeah, I know he was a boxing
Yeah, the
announcer.
other. I forgot the other lady's name too. She bounced.
Lillian.
Yeah, Lillian.
Yeah, I already knew she wasn't sticking around.
Yeah,
she came to fill in for a
She was
minute.
just filling
That
in,
was
but-
what I said when she first said she was back. I guaranteed it was to give them time to find somebody new because Samantha dipped.
And we seem to have gotten to this guy. I forget his name too.
Yeah, I'm good. I heard he did a phenomenally good job.
He's really good. He's really
So
good.
I mean, kudos to that. I definitely want to mark that in the notes.
So we have Damian Priest backstage with the reporter. Can't remember who he was with now. But you know,
Black guy or white guy?
I don't remember who he was with at all.
Good Lord, Justin. Because I think there's two different male interviewers. One's the black bald guy, and I want to say the other one was white guy, brown hair. And you hear me talking about them, it's because, yeah, I don't really remember their names much either. And, you know, you're so fucking awesome not to show any of that shit.
Oh, I'm saying Damian Priest, aren't I?
Yeah.
I meant Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Drew. Well, it leads to Damian
Yeah.
Priest. Yeah, I can't fucking even recall.
Sorry, I was saying the wrong name. But he was backstage because he was bitching about his fight with Randy.
Oh, another bitch. Bitch, 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 bitch.
And he said
bitch.
something, but then he turns around and, you know, he's heading out the door. It opens the door and there's Damian Priest, you know.
Right.
Damian jumps him.
Well, Damien didn't just jump him. Damien smashed the shit out of him. And apparently they caused an assault.
Oh, it was funny, though. Dude's getting out of his car and he's like, "Not my car." They start slamming each other into the car. But yeah, Priest got him up on the hood and what's his move called?
Oh, he's got a
South of Heaven. South of Heaven. He does the South of Heaven. Right, he does that to Drew right into the windshield.
Destroys Drew.
And there are reports now that Drew did get glass in his eye. Which hopefully he's all right. That'd be.
Hang on. I am trying to find
But-
that segment. Ow, son of a bitch.
But the funniest part of all this is because throughout the night we had Roman, Seth, and Punk coming in with their security escort, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at this very moment, Punk was walking by Priest
He
and
laughed about it.
Drew getting fighting.
So is that going to lead to another McIntyre Punk situation at WrestleMania?
Punk just laughs and keeps going, you know. And that was pretty funny though.
Is Drew gonna call out Punk and be a crybaby again?
So
Is that what's gonna happen?
we got Priest and Punk coming up. Or not Priest and Punk. God. I forgot to talk.
Drew and Priest.
Drew and Priest.
You are struggling.
Do I just
today.
not know who Drew is?
Drew's tall, brown hair with a beard,
The one in the kilt, man.
and he has a Scottish accent. Punk is much shorter with gray hair, somewhat of stubble beard, and not Scottish.
Not Scottish. He is not wearing a kilt.
Yeah, that was not a good picture of the guy with him. Hang on. I'm still looking. Hang on. I'm a little distracted up to the fact that I'm trying to figure out who this guy was.
Smackdown reporters.
Oh. I'm getting closer.
Good Lord.
Can you not type either?
Nope.
Is that what we're doing?
That was what that was.
Well, with who? There's like multiple people here. Well, there he went. Yeah, he found. That was the video. But it did not show who he was with.
Oh, not ring announcers. How did we get to ring announcers? Oh, is that the new guy? Oh, no. Never mind. This wiki sucks.
Well, apparently it does.
Anyway, let's move on to the...
Let's move on. We're at the signing.
We're at the signing, which is Roman, Seth, and Punk. They came out in that order.
Let's face it, too. Seth did not leave very happy.
Seth was upset, and Seth was upset because Punk was informed that they will be main eventing WrestleMania, which is obviously
will be a main event.
Punk's
A main event
dream. Mm-hmm. But and Seth has always said he will put a stop to Punk ever main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
that ain't gonna happen.
So Seth was fired up. And, you know...
Well, Seth also keeps bringing up past shit with Roman, which is just digging yourself a fucking hole.
And Roman was all...
Because Roman's not having that shit.
Roman isn't seeing the betrayal that's coming. I think everyone else is seeing it. There's something big in the works behind Roman, because Punk ends the night, you know, because they're sitting there talking about the favor, alluding to the fact that this main eventing thing is the favor. And Punk at the very end, he's like,
I'm still owed that favor.
This is not the favor. You know, that was the end of it. He's like, this is not it. And, you know, Heyman's behind Roman, sitting there behind Roman, you know, not saying anything, but he's trying to say stuff to Punk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going on. There's a betrayal in brewing here. Roman's about to lose his wise man. This fight is... I mean, I think there's a reason this fight's main eventing.
There's always a reason by it, but still...
Like, there's...
Kind of bummed to the fact that it is a non-championship match, main eventing, when you have such...
But something...
raw talent
brewing.
coming.
Something's brewing in this fight. Something more than we've seen yet is brewing with these three. And Paul Heyman, so... Which we'll see more of. But that was SmackDown for the night.
Yeah, tell me they're not going to fucking interject something. Every dark match should have Liv and Rhea.
Is she? Or is that from the...
That's from
No, that's the new one, huh? That's her new
one.
gear, huh?
Uh-huh. New gear, and it is the last dark match they had. And it ends, I believe, with Rhea wearing Raquel's bandana and having a piece of Liv's hair in her mouth. I don't know how true that is, but there's blonde hair, at least in her mouth.
So that's where we're at.
We still got one hell of a show coming.
So tomorrow night's Raw. We got Cena again tomorrow night. Cena and Cody. What else is going on tomorrow? I don't even remember.
Gunther and Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Gunther and Jimmy. Yeah, whatever. We'll talk more about Raw here in a few days.
I'm sure we've got.
We got the ladies. We got a lot of ladies stuff that we'll be able to catch up on. So,
well, we've got the the special guest referee.
Well, we got the title match. That is a title match. So,
it is a title match, and it's going to end in a disqualification, causing Adam Pearce to state that it's at least a triple threat.
We're getting our fatal 4-way. Anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in, talking about SmackDown. We'll catch you on the next go-around.